All right, next let's talk about how muscles are named. So they can be named for a variety of reasons. They can be named by what they do, the muscle action. So the flexor carpi ulnaris is going to flex the wrist, particularly, and it's connected to the ulna there. The extensor carpi or ulnaris would be the opposite, so it's going to extend or adduct the wrist, also connected to the ulna. So again, if you remember the bones, it's going to help you. The adductor longus, this is going to be adducting, and then here we're going to be in the thigh. They can be named based on their origin and insertion. This is one of my favorite names, muscle names to say, the sternocleidomastoid. Just break it on down, sternocleidomastoid. So it originates in the sternum and the clavicle. So here's your origin, and it inserts on the mastoid, process of the temporal bone. So that's how that works. It can be named for their shape. The deltoid at the top of your shoulder actually kind of looks a lot like a triangle, versus the trapezius, which is also kind of in the upper part of the shoulder along the neck, looks a lot like a trapezoid kind of, or diamond, depending on whether it's contracting or relaxing. Maybe it's named for where it's located. So the temporalis is right over the temporal bone. Makes sense, right? Hopefully you remember where the temporal bone is in the skull. Tibialis anterior, so this would be your tibia. So how about in front of the tibia? Makes sense. They can be named for their relative size. So here you have maximus and minimus when we're talking about the gluteus. So here we're in the butt, hip, thigh region. Or they can be longus and brevis, words meaning longer or shorter. They can be talking about the direction that the muscle fibers are oriented. So generally this is going to be in the abdominal muscles. So if they're straight up and down, that's going to be rectus abdominis, that means straight. Transverse, meaning it's at a right angle to the body. That would be your transverse abdominis. And then you have obliques, which are at like a weird angle, so not at a right angle and not straight. They could also be by how many numbers there are at the origin. So biceps, there's 2, triceps, there's 3, quadriceps, there's 4. Now, some of these have some special names. We refer to a group of the hamstrings or hamstrings. These are going to be in the back of the leg, the back of the upper leg, consisting of and there's 3 of them, the biceps femoris, the semimembranosus, and the semitendinosus. Their antagonistic grouping would be the quadriceps muscle group, and there's 4 of those, and these are going to be on the front of the thigh: rectus femoris, vastus intermedius, vastus lateralis, and vastus medialis. So you kind of think about this. So look, see, there's the femur reference in the kind of intermedius, so in between. Lateral, that's going to be the one on the outside. The medialis would be the one on the inside. Now there's also the Achilles tendon, and this is what's going to connect down at the heel area. And then you also have in the patella, this is what is going to connect your quadriceps in the knee.